Welcome to Connect at 51, the online Connect group for C3 Church Manhattan. For those joining us for the first time, form a group and watch the video until you reach a question screen like this. Pause and share your answer with each other and then continue. The first question to start the discussion is this: when have you thought that someone got what they deserved? It's hard not to watch the news for any length of time and not have the thought that someone got what they deserve come to your mind. It may seem like an innocent phrase, that they got what they deserved or serves them right, but at the heart of a thought like that is an intensely judgmental attitude. We are asserting a moral superiority that basically sets us apart as someone that is better than the one that we're judging. Luke 6 tells us, "Do not judge, and you will not be judged. Do not condemn, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven." So your next question is this: what does it mean to judge? To judge is to take everything you know about someone or something and make a decision about it. Judgments happen all the time, whether it be on the sporting field, in a court of law, or in a social circumstance. In fact, every time you go shopping, you're making a judgment. When you choose to buy one brand over another, you're making a judgment on which you think is better. Now, is Jesus saying that we shouldn't ever judge? Of course not. He's speaking about a particular type of judgment, and the clue to this is in the word condemnation. So what is condemnation? And therefore, what sort of judging is Jesus telling us not to do? In legal terms, judgment is the decision between innocence and guilt, or in other words, between freedom and condemnation. Condemnation means to judge someone as guilty. In the context of Jesus' time, there was a group of religious leaders that considered themselves to be the arbiters of right and wrong, and they were literally making life and death decisions about people. When they judged someone as guilty or unworthy or unclean, they were saying that God is not with them and would never be with them. Essentially, they were condemning others to hell. To do this, there's an innate superiority involved in this type of judgment. It's an attitude that I know better, or even I am better. Condemnation is the attitude that is at the root of thoughts like serves them right, or it's the root of when you call someone an idiot, or worse still, telling someone to go to hell. This is the sort of judgment that Jesus is commanding us not to do, for it is God alone who judges, as it says in Revelations 20:21. Another book was opened, which is the book of life. The dead were judged according to what they had done as recorded in the books. So your next question is this: why is God the one who judges? As we discussed earlier, judgment is making a decision, and the best decisions are based on taking everything that is known and weighing it all up. One of the reasons that we are not good judges is that we don't know everything. We don't have all the evidence. We don't know what people are thinking. We don't know what's in their past, and we certainly don't know what's in their heart. So how arrogant it would be for us to think that we can judge others. In 1 Samuel 16, it says, "But the Lord said to Samuel, 'Don't judge by his appearance or height, for I have rejected him.' The Lord doesn't see things the way you see them. People judge by outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart." God sees all and knows all, especially what is in our heart. And that is why God alone is the only one that's qualified to judge man. And Jesus continues to tell us how we will be judged with this next phrase: "Forgive, and you will be forgiven." So what does it mean to forgive, and how does this set us free? The word forgive here literally means to set free. The truth of the matter is that people will do you wrong. It's part of what it means to be a human and live on this planet. People will lie to you, betray you, steal from you, and worse. And we have a choice on how to respond. Jesus is telling us that if we can forgive, or in other words, if we can set them free from condemnation, when we do this, we are demonstrating that we have experienced the freedom that comes from having our own sins forgiven by Him. And that is why that when we forgive others, God's judgment on us is one of forgiveness, where He declares us innocent and free. And now this brings us to the title topic of today's discussion. What is justice, and what is the difference between justice and judgment? The symbol for justice is a set of scales held by a blindfolded woman. While this symbol does not derive from the Bible, rather it comes from Greek mythology, justice is blindfolded to represent the idea of equality as she weighs the interests of the people she is judging. Our last Connect at 51 explored the idea that biblical justice comes from God's commandments, summed up by Jesus' words, "Love your neighbor as yourself." In this, we also see the idea that equality is a core part of justice when we love others as we would ourselves. Right now, there's a worldwide movement that is crying out for justice and equality. And while this is an important cause, it's also important for us not to be judgmental in our attitudes at this time. You see, a judgmental attitude will put others down, will make them feel stupid, unworthy, or inferior. Jesus is urging us to show forgiveness and love instead. And our challenge today is to have that spirit of freedom and forgiveness as we restore justice to our world. So the final question is this: what helps you be less judgmental and more forgiving?